Hello, hello, hello. I thought I'd pop in. I want to start maybe calling this my real estate rant. But, people like my market updates and what the heck is really going on in this market because it's not. Okay. And it's not just Central Texas. I think a lot of you know, and throw your comments in here. Tell me where you're watching me from. But I've got over 200 real estate agents on my team right now, and they span from California to Texas to Arizona to Florida to New York. I've got a few in Canada. I've got some in Brazil now. Where else do we have agents? The UK. And this is just on my team. So anyways, it's super exciting. But I will tell you, there is one theme to all of this. And I see you guys are out there and you're watching. So give me some comments. Do I have comments up so I can see the comments? I want to talk to y'all. But what I'm hearing overwhelmingly, Houston is in the house. Overwhelmingly, what I'm hearing from coast to coast and from sea to shining sea is that the market's insane. Hello, long time no see. Hey, Lachelle, how are you? And that people can't buy houses, and people are selling their houses for $100,000 over, and all of the noise. Okay. And I hear it in Canada. I hear it in my team from California. I hear it from my team in Florida. I hear it from my team in Arizona. I hear it from my team in New York. I hear it from my team in Detroit. Okay. Hey, Demetrius, how are you, my friend? So, first of all, I want to tell you a story because you guys know how I love to tell a story. So this weekend, there's a little town in Central Texas called Hutto, Texas. And it's really cute and it's small. And I want to say the population's under 20,000, under 25,000, really small. Literally, it's expanded a lot since I first was acquainted with Hutto, Texas. But you literally drive down Highway 79 and you can almost blink and you're through the town. Okay. So to buy a house in Hutto, Texas right now, it's going to go anywhere from $185 a square foot to $220 a square foot ish. Okay. So I've got some very precious clients that I've been out showing houses to, and they found a house. And I knew we were in trouble because the listing agent had it listed at $108 a square foot. Now, for my friends in the car business out there, that's the equivalent to a Ford F-150. And the sticker on it's 80 grand and you put it on the lot at 40. So what happens? Does the whole freaking world not come out and you start this crazy feeding frenzy? Hey, Lisa Patrick. Can you guys tell? I've got allergies so stinking bad. I'm just miserable. Yeah, Lisa, I'm talking about Canada. I've got a team in Ottawa now, which I think you're in Ottawa. Anyways, I've got a couple agents in Ottawa. So that being said, this house goes on at 108 a square foot. I knew we were in trouble because my client wanted to see the house. And I said, before we ever went out, because now I will not even show a house until I tell my clients what they really have to pay for the house. Like, let's be real. I don't want to get their expectations up, their hopes up. I mean, I know what it's like. I remember when I was a young home buyer and just being so excited to go out and just find that house. And then are we going to get it? And I live that with every single client, right? I do what I do because I love to make dreams come true. Seriously. Do you get paid to do it? Sure. But I can get paid to do a lot of things. There's nothing better than helping people's dreams come true. So anyways, house is at 108 a square foot. I am furious. I'm already mad. Why am I mad? Because I know the game the agent's playing. So the house was about 1,900 square feet. So, 207,000, whatever the number was. And so my clients were like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I could buy a house for two. Oh, la, 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 la. I'm like, no, you can't. That house is worth $208 a square foot. And that's just a start. right? And then we've got to decide whether how bad we really want that house or not. And are we going to go a little bit above and beyond? So that $200,000 house turns into a $400,000 house that fast. And I guess I'm telling this story because I came home that night and I was so mad. And I was telling James about it. And you guys all know James. And he's a mortgage banker. So, he's living this too right now. He's got hundreds of buyers, he feels like, that he's got approved. And they're just waiting to get a house. But when we're playing those games in that market, so anyways, we put in what I considered a realistic bid on the house, which was over $400,000, just for the record. We did not get the house. I talked to the agent afterwards and I'm like, what are you thinking? He goes, I got, like, beating his chest, I got 70 offers. Oh, I'm like, oh, good for you. But of those 70 offers, how many of those were really in the money? Like really, really in the money? Because how many of those offers, and of course he didn't answer this, how many of those offers were over 400 grand? Because that is an offer that I would entertain, right? And I list a lot of houses. You guys know that. I've got 4 or 5 closing in the next 2 weeks, and 4 or 5 more coming on, right? It's one of those things. I like to list houses, but I list my houses for the market. And then I might get 5 offers or 10 offers, right? But to drive a market, so there were 70 disappointed souls on planet Earth who thought that they could buy that house for $200,000 because it must be the truth, because that's what it's an MLS for. Not an EXP agent, clearly. Yeah, Lisa. No, it wasn't. But, it's just so frustrating. And if you're an agent out there and somewhere in the country, think about it. Yeah, I guess it's super impressive for your stats to be able to tell your seller, oh, I've got 70 offers. If I told one of my sellers, because I put all of my offers on spreadsheets, if I told one of my sellers we had 70 offers, they'd probably jump off the roof. We don't need to look through 70 offers. We need to know what our house is worth, and then we need to go from there, right? We need to look through 5 to 10, 5 great offers. It only takes one, y'all. It only takes one. Yeah, Lisa, shame on that realtor. I mean, again, it's not against the law. Some people are going to sit here and say, oh, well, she's an idiot. It's not unethical. I think it's unethical as hell, personally, because when you read the press, Austin American-Statesman comes out a couple weeks ago, which I hate the Statesman, so it doesn't even matter. But anyways, they came out with an article that said, 35% of the houses, and I'm totally spitballing right now. I don't know what the percentage was, but it was super high. I should have kept it. Are being sold over $100,000 over asking price. Okay, everything is relevant. If the asking price is $200,000 below the market, and how do we determine market? Well, I'll tell you that if you're not in real estate. In the MLS, I can go and I can put in a neighborhood. I can put in a zip code. I can put in a 1-mile radius. And I can ask the MLS, what are the closed sales in that radius in the last 30 days? And that's what I use right now. And I used to use 60 and 90 days back in the day, but you can't anymore. This is a very fluid market. So I looked at the sales prices in not the sales, the closed prices. What did those houses close for in the last 30 days? I based our offer on that, and I upped it a little bit because I know you've got to up it a little bit. Okay. So that house now became another stat. It became a stat because in the MLS, it's going to show it was listed for $200,000 and it sold for $400,000 plus. And I want to say we offered 408 and we didn't get the deal. So it sold for more than 408. I know that. So that being said, now that house becomes another stat. That becomes another house that another home buyer hears a story about. That becomes another house that there is a block. There's a line of people around the block waiting to view this house. And then people literally in line going, I can't do this anymore. I give up. I give up. I'm going to give up my dream of home ownership because there was a house out there that they just did it. Like it's like chum in the water, right? And I hate it. I absolutely freaking hate it. If there's any realtors on here, I'd love for you to jump in and argue with me, agree with me, tell everybody what your thoughts are. But that, it just totally sucks. And you will never, ever see me do that on a property. And if somebody wanted me to do it, I wouldn't take the listing. I'm all about building a market. I'm all about encouraging home ownership. I'm all about capitalism, and people need to own a home, but they need to know where they're at. You need to know where you're at before you ever go look at the house. So here is my advice. No matter where you are in the country, if you're out looking for homes, if there is a deal that looks too good to be true, it is. It just straight up is. Ask your realtor. Ask for a CMA, a current market analysis on that house. If today your realtor was going to list that house that you're going to look at, what would they list it for? Okay, get that number into your mind, into your thought process, into your consideration. Number one, you will waste a lot less time. Number two, you'll win more offers. Number three, you won't be disappointed. Number four, you won't be standing out in the 110 degrees that it is in Austin, Texas right now. Maybe not 110, but it felt like it that day. And waiting in line with a bunch of people, like, I can't even tell you guys how mad I was, because I'm just like sitting there watching these people, listening to this one little couple that was like two people in front of us. They're like, oh my God, this is our dream house. Can you believe, honey, it's only $200,000 in this neighborhood. There must be something wrong. They must have had to dump the house. Maybe, I'm just going, oh my God. Like, there's nothing wrong with this house, Mrs. Jones. Nothing. You've been scammed. You've been duped. Okay? That's what's wrong with this house, is the agent put it on sale and has no intention of selling it on sale. It's the ultimate bait and switch. And as a former car dealer, like, I'm just so sensitive to it. Oh gosh, I hate it. Oh, you're in Edmonton. Okay, I knew that, Lisa. Yeah, Lisa and I are going to talk this afternoon. She's doing a bunch of stuff. Hey, Anthony. Anthony, what we're talking about is people being duped, houses being priced below market, so that they can create multiple offers. And when I say multiple, hey, I'm a listing agent. I love multiple offers. I love to drive that price, okay? But what I don't want is 70 offers on this house in Hutto that I told my people, guys, it's underpriced. And when I say underpriced, I'm not talking $20,000 or $30,000, which I won't lie. I have done that, just to kind of maybe put it at one price point to see what the market will bear. But to take it 50% off, to take a house to $108 a square foot on a neighborhood that clearly, and it's a great house, right? Perfect house. It's not in distress, all the above, in a neighborhood that clearly sells and has sold in the last 30 days and closed at over $220 a square foot. That's just wrong. And it's creating buyer anxiety. It's having buyers, they're dropping out of the market. They're putting their hands up saying, I quit. I can't win in this market. This is terrible. They're so disappointed. Like, shame on us as real estate professionals if we continue to allow that to happen. So if you are out there and you are working with somebody and you're out looking at houses in this market, I am begging you, have your agent tell you a realistic selling price, a realistic start price, before you ever go get your hopes up, take a picture in front. I mean, there were people out there taking pictures in front of the house, selfies, putting it on their Instagram. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so not getting this house. That's all I could think, is you're not getting this house. And I'm just all about being realistic. Being straight up, realistic, tell you where you're at, come up with the greatest strategy ever to go buy the house. Because listen to me, there are 0 deals right now. Whether you're in Austin, Texas, you're in California, you're in Florida, you're in Arizona, you're in New York, you're in Canada, it doesn't matter. There is an inventory shortage, okay? Everyone says to me, what's causing this? What's causing this? What's causing this? Well, there's a few things. Cause number one, sellers are like, if I put my house on the market, where am I going to go? Cause number two, due to the pandemic and all of the mills being shut down, that would be sheetrock, that would be glass, that would be wood, that would be pipe, that would be flooring, you name it. Construction came to a screeching halt because builders could no longer figure out what their cost basis was on building a home when lumber had gone 2x, 4x, 10x, right? That's coming back down. That's the good news. I read an article Friday from the National Builders Association, and they're getting that under control. So it has dropped, I want to say half of where it was. So I'm starting to see some building happening again, which that makes me super happy. Okay. So once people have a place to go again, there's going to be more houses on the market, and they do have a place to go, but they're afraid, okay, of not having a place to go. So there's that. The building piece, right? When new home construction is servicing about 40% of all home buyers in the market, and there's no more construction, that means you've got more buyers than you have sellers. Okay. Supply and demand. We all know about supply and demand. All my car friends are feeling it right now. People are paying just an outrageous amount of money for cars because there's no more cars and they don't know when they're going to come because of this chip shortage, right? So supply and demand, it's just realistic. Okay, I don't know who you are. It says the bubble will pop soon. This is not a bubble. It's not a bubble. This is a scarcity shortage of supply and demand. Once the new home builders start being able to just being able to cost out a house. It's hard. When you're at slab and you're not going to need lumber, you're not going to have to go to framing for 3 months or 4 months, and not knowing what your lumber is going to cost you in 3 to 4 months, and not having the place to store it to buy it today, right? Because they're not able to draw down on the loan. That's a whole nother story. But that being said, they've got to say, okay, well, what am I going to pay for lumber 4 months from now, right? In this crazy market. But there is no bubble. It's not going to pop. We're not even starting that rumor. I can tell you all that right now. That's not going to happen. So when some of this starts to settle down, we're going to see the markets open up again. Does that mean that all the houses that are, 36% in appreciation, does that mean they're going to go down next year? No, they're not. That's going to be the new normal for that neighborhood. But what's going to happen is they're not going to escalate at such a fast rate. So moral to the story is, if you want to buy a house, you need to buy it now. You want to sell your house? Figure out a plan. People like me, I've got 5 pocket listings right now. 5 because the people just don't want to go to MLS yet. So I've got 5 houses. Call me. I'll tell you about them. I'll tell you what they cost. I'll tell you where they're at. I'll tell you all about them. Right? So a lot of that's going on right now, above and beyond. There's a way to get a house. You've just got to work with an agent and a team that knows what they're doing. So if you're not in Central Texas, I've got a great team here, and I'm training them every single day, and they're working with me, and I'm like the quarterback, and I'm overseeing a lot of that. But I've got teams all over the country. I've got Grant and Elena Cardone on my team. Are you in Florida and want to buy or sell a house? I'd work with the Cardones. I think so. Anyways, just amazing agents all over the country. So anyways, I just don't want you to lose hope. I had to do my little rant today because I was so mad over this house in Hutto. And it's just ridiculous. It's whatever. Like I said, it's not against the law what this agent did. He can run his business any way he wants to run his business. We're all entrepreneurs. I choose not to participate. I choose to be straight up, forthright, create the market and not spawn fear, not spawn scarcity, not spawn desperation in people, and not destroy the real estate market. I want to tell people where they're at, where they're going, what it's going to take, and find them the deal for them that's going to best meet their budget, that's going to appreciate in the future. So anyways, all of that being said, that's my market update. Good news is interest rates are still bouncing at 3 and below on a conforming loan. So there's still a lot of, we still have record historic interest rate lows. So if today you might pay a little bit more for the house, you know me, I like to call that future appreciation. You might pay a little more for the house, but you lock in that low interest rate, you're still winning. Okay. You're still winning. Rates are going to go up. They have to. We're in a crazy inflationary of what, government printing money. So they're going to have to go up. We know that. The Fed's already said it. So it just depends on, what they decide to do on the purchasing of treasury bonds and not. But, I personally think we're going to see rates at about 4% within a year. All right. That cuts down your buying power a lot. So take the cheaper money, pay a little bit more for the house. If you've got any questions, you guys know how to reach me. I'll always help you no matter where you're at. And just don't lose the faith, okay? Because the other part to this whole thing is that rent is just going, because all these people that are going, I can't buy a house right now, I'm so scared, I'm going to wait for the market to settle down. It's never going to happen. This market doesn't settle down, especially if you're in Central Texas. Everybody's moving here. Like everybody is moving here. It's nuts. So all you're going to do is just go pay somebody else's mortgage by renting. Find somebody like me. Find somebody like one of my colleagues around the country who is a strategist, who is an expert, who understands the markets, who understands financial literacy, and we will get you plugged into a deal. I promise you. All right. I hope y'all are having a great day, and I'll pop back sometime soon with some more market updates. Bye.